Hi, welcome back to our 4-part introduction video series to Love of Christ. My name is Steve Klemp, your host, and also the pastor. This is video 3, and we're talking about the different attitudes that we bring when we come to Love of Christ. You see, here at this congregation, our expectation is that we're going to do everything we possibly can to help people grow in their faith. That's what we want to see more than anything else, is that people get closer and closer to Jesus. In order to have that happen, we have some expectations for the people who join us on this journey with Jesus. And there's certain attitudes that we can affect in our heart. And the first attitude we talked about was ownership. Do we own and take responsibility for our faith journey? That's really important because we can't take the faith journey for you. You have to do that. We can help create the environment for that faith journey to be successful. We talked about that last time, as we were talking about faith growth and thinking about how we can foster that proper environment for God to grow our faith. And so today, in this video, we want to look at what it means to be now connected to one another. You see, if you read in the Bible, you don't get very far. In fact, you can't even get past chapter 2 of the first book called Genesis. So if you could take a Bible, you open it up right first thing, flip through the table of contents, start reading in the beginning. It says God created the heavens and earth. That's Genesis 1 and the first verse. You get into chapter 2, and there's one thing after God's created almost everything. He looks at his creation almost every single time. He says, it's good, it's good, it's good. One thing he says is not good. In Genesis 2, verse 18, he said, it is not good for man to be alone. You see, even before sin entered into the world, God realized that Adam, it wasn't good for him to be alone. And so he creates Eve. And once he does that and he sees Adam and Eve in a relationship and connected to each other, he declares his whole creation to be very good. And so as we think about what it means to have connection, I think what we have to realize and first own up to is the fact that life is better together. We do life better when we're with other people. In fact, that goes, as I said, right from the very beginning. God understood that about the human condition, and we still understand that now. And so if life is better together, then our first attitude that we bring about connection is that I want to do life with other people. That's our first attitude. We can say, I want to do life with other people. And our expectation for you, if you want to grow in your faith, is that you're going to get connected with other people because it's better to do life together. And number 2, God has created you to be in those relationships. You know, my life, I've discovered that when I try to do things my way, if they're contrary to what God has planned, good luck. It's a tough row to hoe. But if I do it God's way, man, life just works so much better. And so I want to encourage you, as you think about what connection is, life is so much better when we do it together. And I want to do life with other people. The second component that we need to think of and take ownership of is this attitude, is that I'm willing to let others into my life. If we are always holding people at a distance and not really engaging and letting them come close to us, we really don't have a connection. We have acquaintances, maybe we have that we know people, perhaps you know people at your place of business or your work, but have they been over to your house before? Have you been over to their house? Do you know what is happening in their lives? Do they know what's happening in yours? More than just the, hey, here's pictures of my kids, my dog, my vacation, my Facebook friends. But do they really get you? And are you willing to let people into your life? And then the third thing about connection that we want you to be able to have as an attitude is that you are actively looking for other people to make connections with. Now, this might not be forever. These might not be lifetime friends. It might just be for a time, for a season, for a period. But are we willing to let people in? Are we willing to connect with them? And do we understand that by doing so, our lives will be better? It's actually one of the components another ingredient perhaps in creating that environment for faith growth. I want to thank you for watching this video. Remember, life is done better when we're doing it together. We pray that we can continue to walk with you in your journey of faith. We have one last video as we're talking about invitations. We encourage you to check that one out, what it means to have an inviting personality or culture here at Love of Christ. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. God bless.